Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Ollie. I'm live from my chair in Hutto, Texas. We're going to talk World Cup soccer. This is OllieRant, episode number 3. Yeah, that's right, episode number 3. We're 6 days into the World Cup, and already we've seen some great matches from South Africa. The opening match of Bafana Bafana in Mexico. South Africa scored the first goal. Shabalala, the talented midfielder for South Africa, scoring the first goal on South African soil in the first African World Cup is just amazing. Rafael Marquez tied it up at ones. That was a great match. And then we saw France and Uruguay. That was a great match. Thierry Henry coming on, doing doing some great midfield work and organizational leadership for the French. And then you see some of the more favored matches, the U.S. and England, the gaff by Robert Green. Clint Dempsey scored the goal for the United States. He's a Texan. Texan, the pride of Nacogdoches, Texas. The midfielder putting it away and keeping the U.S. hopes alive here in Group H. But some of the other matches that were underrated, to my opinion, you got to look at Honduras and Chile. Chile, affected by that earthquake earlier in the year, came out strong and really got after it. They scored. First goal right away. Their midfield just combined with the back line and combined with the forwards, they outplayed the Honduran defense all match long. And then upsetting match today was Bafana Bafana losing to Uruguay 3-0. It was just upsetting to see South Africa take such a hit, especially on Youth Day, a national holiday. It's just upsetting. Some matches to look forward to. You got to look at USA Slovenia. Tim Howard took that boot to the chest from Emil Heskey. He's going to play, but we don't know how good he's going to be. You got to look at the midfield. Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey. Bring in guys like Carlos Bocanegra, Gucci Onyewu. And then the forwards. You never know what you're going to get from your strikers. Josie Altidore, Edson Buttle. Can't believe he still made the national team. Stuart Holden can get some good minutes, some valuable time here in this match against Slovenia. Another match I'm looking forward to is Ivory Coast Brazil. Ivory Coast tied Portugal 0-0 with Didier Drogba coming on as a sub. You got to look at that matchup. That is powerhouses of the English Premier League and the Brazilian leagues and just pretty much worldwide talent worldwide. You got to look at Didier Drogba of Chelsea for Ivory Coast, Yaya Toure from Barcelona from Ivory Coast, Kaká from Real Madrid from Brazil, Rubinho from Inter Milan from Brazil, uh, Lucio from Inter Milan. A lot of Brazilians playing on that Inter Milan Champions League squad. Ivory Coast is just the favorite. They're the African team. They're a feel-good story, but they also have great players. They have Didier Zakora and Salomon Kalou of Chelsea, Drogba's teammate. They just have a great team overall, and if Bafana Bafana can't advance past group play, the only other African team favored to advance out of the group of death is Ivory Coast. You have Ghana, Nigeria. Ghana won their first match. Nigeria lost to Argentina. Argentina, one of the favorites, with Spain, who actually lost today to Switzerland 1-0, much to my surprise. So much soccer to talk about. Some players to watch in the tournament. You have to watch, as I said, Clint Dempsey from the United States. Gerardo Torrado, the midfielder from Mexico, from Cruz Azul, out of the Mexican Primera División. I'm going to throw Brazil in there. I'm going to throw Rubinho, fancy footwork, really experienced midfielder. You gotta watch him. Let's stay in South America. Let's go Argentina. Lionel Messi. That's right. I said it. Lionel Messi, my favorite player. Uh, Guy is just an animal. He's led Barcelona the last few years, and the kid's just an animal. He just knows how to get to work once he shows up to the pitch. And then let's move over to Africa. We're going continent by continent here, you see. Africa, Didier Drogba of Ivory Coast. Uh, Injured with that broken arm in the last friendly 2 weeks ago. Came on strong as a sub in the Portugal game, which they tied. You got to look at Salomon Kalou, also of Ivory Coast. Michael Essien of Ghana. Ghana is a kind of underdog, but they've done a lot, and they're the only African team with a win right now. The only African team with a win. So that things are looking up for the Ghanaian people. Let's move up to Europe. You got to look at the English with Wayne Rooney of England fighting injury. John Terry, who's had all those off-field controversy here in the past year or two. Let's see here. Let's go with Germany. Bastian Schweinsteiger. Bastian Schweinsteiger. That's a tongue twister right there. The wide midfielder out of Germany. Played for Bayern Munich, who went to that Champions League final against Inter Milan. Schweinsteiger, great leader. He can cross the ball in. He can take corners, free kicks, anything. He's going to be a good threat for Germany as they advance towards that group play. Let's go with Portugal. We got Simão, a great reserve midfielder who played some great minutes in that match against Ivory Coast. A solid leader. He plays for FC Porto in Portugal. Got to watch out for Simão. It's also a funny name to say. Let's move over to Asia. Not many guys on the AFC front, the Asian Football Confederation. Korea, the two Korea countries, didn't really fare well in their matches. And the only other representative they have is Japan. And Japan has that Honda kid that scored that goal. That was just insane. I don't know how he finished that, honestly. Another guy you got to watch for, really experienced leader, really great threat on ball, is Daisuke Matsui. No, not Matsuzaka. I wish he played soccer. But Daisuke Matsui is a great center mid, offensive attacking mid, gets after the ball. He's such a good player on ball. He's got such good touch and control. He's the final player I'm going to watch out for. This has been OllieRant episode number 3. Not the last one, I guarantee that. Stay tuned for more OllieRants and more updates about the FIFA World Cup. Live from Hutto, Texas, this is Ollie Andrews for Andrews News.